Welcome to our exploration of pharmacology and drug action. Pharmacology is the science that studies how drugs interact with biological systems. It's a field that bridges chemistry, biology, and medicine, helping us understand how medications work in the body. In this video, we'll break down the basics of pharmacology, from how drugs are developed to how they produce their effects. Whether you're a student, a healthcare professional, or just curious, this journey will give you a solid foundation in understanding how drugs impact our health and well-being. Start with a simple question. What exactly is a drug? In pharmacology, a drug is any substance that, when taken into a living organism, can modify one or more of its functions. This includes medicines used to treat diseases, but also substances like caffeine or alcohol. Understanding what qualifies as a drug helps us appreciate the wide range of compounds studied in pharmacology, from prescription medications to everyday chemicals we might not even think about. Drugs can come from a variety of sources. Some are derived from natural products like plants or animals, while others are synthesized in laboratories. For example, aspirin was originally extracted from willow bark, while many antibiotics are produced by microorganisms. Advances in chemistry have allowed scientists to design and create new drugs that target specific diseases more effectively. Understanding where drugs come from is key to appreciating the diversity and complexity of pharmacology. Drugs are classified in several ways, including by their chemical structure, the way they work in the body, or the diseases they treat. For instance, antibiotics fight infections, while analgesics relieve pain. This classification helps healthcare professionals choose the right medication for each patient and ensures safe and effective treatment. By understanding drug classes, we can better predict how a drug will act and what side effects might occur. Pharmacodynamics is the study of what drugs do to the body. It explores how drugs interact with their targets, such as receptors or enzymes, to produce their effects. For example, some drugs lower blood pressure by relaxing blood vessels, while others block pain signals in the brain. Understanding pharmacodynamics helps us predict a drug's benefits and potential side effects, making it a cornerstone of safe medication use. Pharmacokinetics focuses on what the body does to a drug. It covers how drugs are absorbed, distributed, metabolized, and eliminated. These processes determine how quickly and how much of a drug reaches its target in the body. For example, some drugs are broken down quickly and need to be taken often, while others last longer. Understanding pharmacokinetics is essential for dosing medications safely and effectively. Absorption is the process by which a drug enters the bloodstream after administration. Factors like the drug's form, the route of administration, and the presence of food in the stomach can all affect absorption. For example, some drugs are best absorbed on an empty stomach, while others need to be taken with food. Understanding absorption helps ensure that medications are used in the most effective way possible. Once absorbed, drugs are distributed throughout the body by the bloodstream. Distribution depends on factors like blood flow, the drug's ability to cross cell membranes, and how much binds to proteins in the blood. Some drugs accumulate in certain tissues, which can affect both their effectiveness and their side effects. Understanding distribution helps in predicting where a drug will act and how long it will stay in the body. Metabolism is the process by which the body breaks down drugs, usually in the liver. Enzymes convert drugs into forms that are easier to eliminate. Some drugs are activated by metabolism, while others are inactivated. Differences in metabolism can explain why some people need higher or lower doses of a medication. Understanding metabolism is crucial for preventing drug interactions and side effects. Elimination is how the body gets rid of drugs, mainly through the kidneys and urine, but also in bile, sweat, or breath. The rate of elimination affects how long a drug stays active in the body. Some drugs are eliminated quickly, requiring frequent dosing, while others last longer. Understanding elimination helps determine the right dosing schedule and prevents drug buildup that could cause toxicity. Most drugs work by binding to specific receptors in the body. These receptors are like locks, and the drug is the key. When a drug binds to its receptor, it can either activate it as an agonist or block it as an antagonist. Understanding receptors helps explain why drugs have specific effects and why side effects can occur if other receptors are affected. Agonists are drugs that activate receptors to produce a response, while antagonists block receptors and prevent a response. For example, morphine is an agonist at opioid receptors, producing pain relief, while naloxone is an antagonist that can reverse opioid overdose. Knowing the difference between agonists and antagonists is key to understanding how drugs can have opposite effects in the body. Dose-response relationship describes how the effect of a drug changes with the amount given. At low doses, there may be little effect, but as the dose increases, the effect becomes stronger up to a point. Beyond a certain dose, increasing the amount doesn't increase the effect and may cause toxicity. Understanding this relationship helps determine the safest and most effective dose for each patient. Therapeutic index is a measure of a drug's safety. It compares the dose that produces the desired effect to the dose that causes harm. A wide therapeutic index means a drug is relatively safe, while a narrow index means there's a small margin between benefit and risk. Understanding the therapeutic index helps healthcare providers choose drugs that are both effective and safe. No drug is without side effects. These are unintended actions that can occur alongside the desired effect. Some side effects are mild, like drowsiness, while others can be serious. Understanding side effects helps patients and healthcare providers weigh the benefits and risks of a medication and manage any problems that arise during treatment. Drug interactions occur when one drug affects the action of another. This can make a drug more or less effective or increase the risk of side effects. For example, some antibiotics can reduce the effectiveness of birth control pills. Understanding drug interactions is crucial for safe medication use, especially in people taking multiple drugs. With repeated use, the body can become tolerant to some drugs, meaning higher doses are needed to achieve the same effect. Dependence can also develop, where the body relies on the drug to function normally. These concepts are important in understanding how medications should be used and why some drugs can be addictive. Some people can have allergic reactions to drugs, which are immune responses that can range from mild rashes to severe, life-threatening reactions. Recognizing and avoiding drugs that cause allergies is an important part of safe medication use. Healthcare providers always ask about allergies before prescribing new medications. Not everyone responds to drugs in the same way. Factors like genetics, age, weight, and other health conditions can influence how a person reacts to a medication. Personalized medicine aims to tailor drug therapy to each individual, maximizing benefits and minimizing risks. This approach is becoming more common as we learn more about the human genome. Developing a new drug is a long and complex process. It starts with basic research, followed by laboratory and animal testing. Promising compounds then move to clinical trials in humans to test for safety and effectiveness. Only a small fraction of drugs make it through this process to become approved medications. Understanding drug development helps us appreciate the science and effort behind every pill. Clinical trials are studies in humans that test new drugs for safety and effectiveness. They are conducted in phases, starting with small groups and gradually involving more people. Each phase answers different questions, from how the drug is absorbed to whether it works for its intended use. Clinical trials are essential for ensuring that new drugs are both safe and effective before they reach the market. Drugs are regulated by government agencies to ensure they are safe and effective. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) reviews data from clinical trials before approving new medications. Regulations also cover manufacturing, labeling, and advertising. This oversight protects the public and maintains trust in the healthcare system. Some drugs are available over-the-counter (OTC), meaning you can buy them without a prescription. Others require a doctor's prescription because they need closer monitoring or have a higher risk of side effects. Understanding the difference helps you use medications safely and appropriately. Generic drugs contain the same active ingredients as brand-name drugs and work the same way in the body. They are usually less expensive because they don't have the same development costs. Understanding the similarities and differences between generic and brand-name drugs can help you make informed choices about your medications. Drugs can be given in many ways, including by mouth, injection, skin patch, or inhalation. The route of administration affects how quickly and how much of the drug reaches its target. For example, injections act faster than pills. Understanding the different routes helps ensure that medications are used in the most effective way. Certain groups like children, pregnant women, and the elderly may respond differently to drugs. Dosing and drug choice may need to be adjusted to ensure safety and effectiveness. Understanding these differences is important for providing the best care to all patients. Adverse drug reactions are harmful or unintended effects that occur at normal doses. They can range from mild to life-threatening and are a major reason for hospital admissions. Recognizing and reporting adverse reactions helps improve drug safety for everyone. Some drugs require regular monitoring to ensure they are working properly and not causing harm. This can include blood tests to check drug levels or organ function. Monitoring helps healthcare providers adjust treatment as needed for the best outcomes. Educating patients about their medications is essential for safe and effective use. This includes explaining how to take the drug, possible side effects, and what to do if problems arise. Well-informed patients are more likely to use their medications correctly and achieve better health outcomes. In summary, pharmacology is a fascinating field that helps us understand how drugs work and how to use them safely. As science advances, new drugs and therapies are being developed, offering hope for better treatments and improved health. Staying informed about pharmacology empowers us to make better decisions about our health and the medications we use.